I hope you guys all have a chance to try these questions first. And now we are going to see, is there anything special about these three questions? Especially example number 12. I said that this is my favorite. This is, I think, the most interesting division questions. Okay, so I will first do question number 10, example number 10, which is 0 divided by 7. Example 10, 0 divided by 7. I am still going to use the long division. Okay? So, draw the long division symbol. 0 is the first number, put it inside. 7 is the second number, put it outside. And then, to figure this answer, right, to figure out the answer, you have to ask yourself, what times 7 will give you 0? And the only way to do that is the number 0. 0 times 7 is 0. And when you subtract 0 minus this 0 in black minus this 0 in red, it's 0. When the remainder is 0, you are done. And that's the answer. Therefore, 0 divided by 7 is 0. Let's take a look at another case. What if we switch the division? We have seen a few cases that whenever you switch the order of divisions, you end up with a different answer. But let's see what happens if I switch the division here. We have 7 divided by 0. Again, long division. That's the key, long division. Which number goes inside? The first number, which is the 7. And the 0 is outside because that's the second number. Okay, and now again we have to ask ourselves, well, what's the answer, right? That's what we're trying to figure out. 0 goes into 7 how many times? What should I put right here so that this number times 0 will magically be equal to 7? Well, let's try. Actually, if you didn't do the long division, by the look, 7 divided by 0, a lot of us will just think that the answer is 0 first, right? So let's say, I want to say, claim, the answer is 0. That means I need to put this 0 up here, right? That's where the answer is. Let's see. 0 times 0 will give you a 0, but when you do 7 minus this 0, you get 7. And you still have the remainder. The remainder is 0. The remainder is 7. So nothing really happened, huh? Which means that this 0 is not the answer. This does not work. Not the answer. So I'm going to cross out the claim. So if you think that 7 divided by 0 is equal to 0 by the look, well, if you verified it, if you use the long division, this doesn't make sense, right? It didn't do any good, right? Because if you put 0 right here, 0 times 0, you get 0, and nothing really happened. Anyways, maybe I just picked the wrong number to start off with. 7 inside, 0 outside. I'm going to say 7 divided by 0. It's not equal to 7. Let's say this is my claim. That means I'm going to put this red 7 to the answer. Well, in that case, you do this 7 times 0. 7 times 0 is equal to 0. And again, you subtract. 7 minus 0, it's 7. Again, nothing really happened, just like this case. This implies that this red 7 is not the answer. So I'm going to cross this out. This is not it. This is again the wrong answer because it didn't help us to reduce the 7 in black. Maybe I just picked maybe I just picked two wrong numbers to start off with, right? So well, let's say 7 divided by 0. Let's see, 7, 0, 7 inside, 0 outside. Let me try something different. Let's say maybe the answer is 28. Well, if I put 28 here, 28 times 0, what do we get? Again, 0. And 7 minus 0, you get 7. So, I just kind of just get rid of the 28 because 28, it's not the answer. 28 doesn't work, doesn't help us to reduce this 7 any smaller. In fact, if you have a 7 right here and then a 0 out here, whenever you are doing like a 7 divided by 0 in this case, any number that you put on the top, any number that you tried, any number that you think the answer is going to be, that this number times 0 will give you 0. So 7 minus 0, again, you end up with the original 7. In another word, you cannot, there's no number, right? No number times 0 will give you a 7. Because any number times 0 gives you the 0. So, there's no number will make this work. There's no number will make this work. This is not possible. Not possible. Sorry, let me write this again. 7 divided by 0, it's not possible. 7 divided by 0, this is not possible. Because if you put any number right here, any number times 0 will give you this 0. And the 7 is still the 7. Nothing really happened. Okay, nothing really happened. So that's why I said 7 divided by 0, it's not possible. And maybe 7 is just a weird number. Let's see. Let's try, how about let's try 15. 15 divided by 0. Again, let's do the long division. First number is the 15, goes inside. 0 is the second number, goes outside. Again, let's see. What times 0 can give you 15? Any number, no matter what you put, any number times 0 gives you 0. And when you subtract 15 minus 0, you get 15. So regardless what you pick, it won't work. It's just like this case. 7 divided by 0, it's not possible. 15 divided by 0, it's also not possible. Because there's no number that you multiply by with 0 will somehow give you 15. It's not possible. In this case, we say that 7 divided by 0. So in math, okay, we say the situation when you have positive numbers divided by 0, or 15 divided by 0, for example, we call this undefined. Undefined. Because it's not possible for you to find the answer. It's not possible for you to find the answer when you are doing 15 divided by 0. Regardless which number you're plugging right here, then it's not possible. And in math, we call that undefined. This is a meaningless calculation. So 15 divided by 0, it's a meaningless calculation. 7 divided by 0, it's a meaningless calculation. What if that we are doing 0 divided by 0? Well, again, let's try. Let's do long division to figure out what the answer is. So this is my question. So I have 0 divided by 0, and again the first number goes inside. So I'm going to make this the first 0 in red. This number goes inside because it's the first number. The second 0, the 0 in black, goes outside. Let's figure out what the answer is. What times 0 will give you 0? And maybe you will think, okay, 5 will work. Yes, 5 will definitely work. 5 times 0 gives you 0. And 0 minus 0, you get a remainder of 0. So yes, 5 is the answer, right? 5 is an answer. So 5 works. How about maybe some other people will disagree? Well, in that case, if you have 0 inside, 0 outside, 7 also works, right? Because if you put 7 right here, 7 times 0 will give you a 0, and 0 minus 0, guess what? You get the remainder of 0 as well. So 7 also works. How about 0 inside, 0 outside? How about, well, let's just put 0. Of course, 0 times 0 gives you 0. And when you subtract, 0 minus 0 gives you 0. So the answer could also be 0, isn't it? Well, let's see. There are other cases. If you have a 0 inside, 0 outside. Let's just be some creative. Let's put like I don't know, 3.7. Could that happen? Can this work? Ask yourself. 3.7 times 0 is what? 3.7 times 0, it's also equal to 0. This 0 minus that 0 gives you a remainder of 0. So, 3.7, it's also an answer to it. One more. 0 inside, 0 outside. I want to try 5,621.9. Could this be the answer? Yes, because this number times 0, guess what? It's equal to 0. And when you subtract, you get a remainder of 0. This number could also be 0. I mean, this number could also be the answer when you are doing 0 divided by 0, right? And in fact, when you have a 0 inside and a 0 outside, it looks like any number will work. Because any number times this 0 in black will produce a 0. And when you subtract, you get a remainder of 0. And whenever you have a remainder of 0, then this is the answer. Yes. Any number will make this work. However, when you are doing a math problem, when you are doing the calculation, you can only have you can only have at most one answer, right? When you are doing a calculation question, you can only have one answer. In this case, we look like we have so many answers to it. It could be 5, it could be 7, it could be 0, it could be 3.7, it can be anything, right? It could be anything. So in that case, again, since it has so many choices, again, this is a meaningless calculation. So I'm going to say 0 divided by 0, this is also equal to undefined. Because it has so many possibilities, this is meaningless. So this is meaningless. So I'll put a meaningless. Conclusion. When you have any number divided by 0, this is always equal to this is always, I shouldn't put equal. When you have any number divided by 0, this is always a meaningless calculation. This is always meaningless. Therefore, any number, this is n, any number divided by 0, we call this undefined. Any number divided by 0 in math, it's undefined. And we can verify that by using the long division.